Hello. How are we doing? What's happening? It's a little late, but we had a good day. So let me get this shared over. We're going to get on the road. Perfect. Great. All right. Need to get some vitamin water stat. All right. It was a pretty good day. Solid overall. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of an end to a longish week of a lot of good progress. So we didn't do anything too crazy, but I do want to talk about a couple things because every day is fun for me. So that's why I do these things. That's why hair sticks up. That's why I come on here and we're going to chat. So let's go have a look-see. Okay. All right. So first thing that I did today, woke up and I had to do, I kind of had to do something for my grandmother's business. There's a restaurant, Coriopolis Ray's. It's actually where I have to get up in a couple hours and go work. Sucks. Not a fan of weekends, actually. I like what I do during the week much better because it's, stuff that I like to do, and I would highly recommend that to people. But just another reminder that PNC is awful. And I say that kind of in jest, but kind of not. Everything that I had to do with PNC when I had like personal for such a long period of time, like the virtual wall and everything like that, it was like okay. It works obviously pretty decent. If you live in the Pittsburgh area, it's like pretty prominent. But all I'm saying is that there's alternatives. Let me kind of just go that route with it. PNC isn't the worst thing ever. Obviously not. It's a pretty reputable place. But there's a lot of problems that like I was experiencing, mainly like linking that account to outside institutions, especially when you start to deal with like business banking and stuff like that. It gets really difficult because they just don't, I don't know what the hell their thing is. Like their system just does not allow for easy linking between like an authentication. Like when you go to like a website like Venmo, for instance, you have to link your bank account to Venmo in order to move the money around. And generally what most companies do nowadays is there's like a thing in there and you click on the bank that you are with and then you put in your online banking information, like your username and your password, boom, done. PNC makes that extremely difficult and it's like a huge pain in the ass for some reason. I don't understand why, but yeah, they just need to work on that. So what I would recommend truthfully is if you don't, specifically if you don't need a branch and you don't deposit a lot of cash, look into Ally Bank, please. It's an online bank for personal use, and I highly recommend their savings account. On a normal time, it's great. The returns are great and way higher than you would get anywhere else. And then their checking is phenomenal too. I mean, you just open a checking account real quick. It's online, and I don't know, it's the whole shebang. So Ally Bank, go check it out. I use it. Can't recommend it enough. So that's just the thing. But the reason that I mentioned that is because like I said, I was trying to do something. I was trying to link something up for the business that my grandmother has, and it was like a pain in the ass. And PNC is just tough. So I have a lot of finance knowledge, personal finance knowledge. I've been through the gauntlet with a bunch of places. So if you have some questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer them. I said something about that, and somebody asked me a question about it today via my Instagram story. So that is something that I'm pretty passionate about. Not an expert in, but pretty knowledgeable. And if I have an answer for you, I'd love to assist. Finally finished Amanda's anniversary card too. That was just another small little thing that I did. Again, as an attempt to find something in each one of the tasks that I always do. Make sure you don't ever forget about your significant other. Make sure that you're always very compassionate and caring for, whatever holiday it is, whether it's an anniversary or birthday or anything like that. Always make time for them in general. That's a huge thing in a relationship, no matter how busy you get, no matter how many businesses you have and stuff like that. Like That's a very important one. So just a little hint there. I got a haircut. It's kind of standard. So yeah, I did that. Nothing super special about that. But right after that haircut, I actually had somebody, a friend of mine, reach out to me and say that they have recently switched jobs and they're not really liking what they're doing as much. And they're kind of in the same position that I was in a while back, and just it's not fulfilling. They don't like the fact that they go to work for 40 hours a week, and and then you basically have to sleep for another like 40 hours of your week, and you only have like a third of it left to do whatever you want. And just the same type of shit that everybody says, and it's very true. And so them seeing what I'm doing with all these different things, and the businesses that I'm trying to create, and just the different cool stuff that I'm trying to make my life, build my life out of, they asked if I was able to kind of consult with them, like a business consultation. I mean, it's not paid or anything yet, because I'm not offering that as a service quite yet. But I'm more than happy to do that for people now. I've had a couple people in the past actually ask me for it, and I always tell them everything that I know. Like I'm trying to put like a course together of a bunch of information, but until I have something in stone, I'm not really going to worry about. I'm mainly focused on like trying to help people and get like the rapport out there. So like hopefully, people could recommend me in a sense to other people as I help them. But that is a huge thing, and I love to do that. Like I love nothing more than all the stuff that I've created so far. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the structure process of it specifically. So if there's any way that I can help other people get that piece of it, because it could be very overwhelming. It's like, well, I want to start a business, like this type of business or whatever. Like, how the fuck do I even do it? Like, it took a lot of, research and everything for me to do that, to figure all that out. So if I can pass that along to people, make it a little easier to get started, because that's one of the hardest parts, I would be more than happy to. So I scheduled a business consultation for next week, and I'm very excited to help that gentleman out there. So happy about that. Then I had the rest of the day kind of was like a pool birthday party we had with some friends, and we just kind of hung out and everything like that, chilled. It was cool. At the end of the night, though, we had some great conversations. Myself and Amanda, and then a couple other of our friends, a couple other couples, just like really good stuff. And it's like AM and the PM type things. If you don't know what AM and the PM is, I'm going to shamelessly plug AM and the PM right now. Here is our website, built by Find It Tech LLC, best website, best web development company in the world. It's my company. Yeah. So there's a website. Go check that out. It's a podcast about like relationships and different like topics like that. So we always have guest couples on, and we have Amanda and I occasionally do episodes like by ourselves on different topics and stuff like that. But to relate it back to what we did today, we had some great discussions with other couples that were at the party there, and it was just like, it's like deep stuff. It's like, family dynamics and different like traumatic experiences, and like how that all affects you when you're in a relationship. And I just love those conversations, because I know for certain that they are so helpful. Like they're so helpful, they're impactful. There's stuff that like so many people need to listen to and really like try to like understand and have in their lives. And I just want more people to have those opportunities. So that is why that's why we do AM and the PM. That is why I do Fueled by Progress, different type of content, slightly more like somewhat entrepreneurship based, but just like overall personal development, not specifically in relationships. But that's what I love to do. I love to have those conversations. I love to learn. I love to help other people learn. And I just think it's a great time. So that is what we're doing there. And that's, glad we got to do that in a little bit more of a leisurely setting. That was kind of cool today. So happy about that. Last thing I want to talk about, it's kind of a culmination of everything. But I was in like talks today on the landscape of social media today is so dangerous, I want to say. Everybody and their mother is an expert on everything, and it's really, it's like a minefield is really what Facebook is, I would say, right now. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of knowledge and are well read, and want to just kind of like inform people. And then there's people like me that like I'd just rather not give a shit about most of the stuff going on, because I have more than enough to worry about on my own. And as long as I'm not hurting anybody, that is absolutely exactly where I want to be. So given that, I try to turn most of it off, but some of the stuff, like, it just like, I see things, I read things or whatever, and like logically they just either don't click, or then I see things like, well, this makes kind of sense. Let me try to forward this out to people, or just like kind of like get people's opinions on it. And, basically like clockwork, you get people like coming back at you that, it's just unbelievable sometimes, like the type of stuff that you get back. I don't really need to go like directly into that. I mean, there's obviously, I'm pretty sure anybody that's on social media nowadays, specifically in this time period with everything that has gone on this crazy year of 2020, you've probably like at least seen some of it here and there. You even heard shit on the news and all this other stuff. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of like information back and forth. There's a lot of experts, in their basements and stuff like that. And there's actually a lot of other experts that are, wrongfully being disputed and all this other stuff. So there's a ton of shit going on. I'm going to give you, I'm going to kind of like explain what people like. I've gotten this comment a couple times, and it's like, people almost like saying that you can't, like, almost like condescendingly saying that you can't live life by doing whatever you want. To that, I say absolutely 100% fuck that. I'm going to do whatever I want. As long as whatever I want does not hurt anybody, I'm 100% going to do whatever I want. Sorry. Like, sorry, not sorry. That's just what I'm going to do. Because you only get one life. And I don't care how many times, like, you tell me that I, like, oh, you need to, like, care about this, that, or the other thing, or, like, you need to, like, worry about, certain things. Like, I care about myself first, and I'm actually proud of that. Like, 100%. I'm going to embrace that from now on. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I care about other people 100% as well. Doesn't mean that you're a selfish piece of shit that only cares about yourself if you do care about yourself. This idea of victimizing people that care about themselves is absolutely ludicrous. So I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to do it in a way that's not going to hurt anybody else. I'm not really talking about specifics here. I'm just kind of talking about, like, I talk about this a lot because, I decided I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do these businesses, and like, and that's just one of the ways. And then, like, kind of like the other ways that I live my life, I'm just like, I don't know how to say it. I just do whatever I want, whatever makes me happy, whatever makes me fulfilled. And sometimes it seems like people don't do that, and they get either fucking jealous of you, or they get like disgruntled that you're like just doing whatever you want and you're happy and you're being fulfilled, and it's great, you're living a great life. And like, I don't know how somebody could possibly say that, like, you can't say this or that because you're doing whatever you want. Like, no, that's pretty much what I would recommend to anybody, because it's a great fucking time. Because when you don't care about like other people's like negative opinions of certain like things that you have to do, or all the other bullshit that comes with like life, living today in 2020, it's just very fulfilling. And you cut out all the bullshit. And I'm not talking about being evil. Like, let me stop here for a second and say that, like, there's probably some people out there that are like genuinely like, oh, I want to do whatever I want, and there's like evil intentions. I know for certain anybody that knows me, anybody that watches this shit, I would hope understands that 99% of the things that I do are with good intention. And if that is the case, that's like the qualifier, then green light, do whatever the fuck you want, because you're not going to hurt anybody. You're not going to, like, okay, obviously accidents happen and shit like that, like, like in general, like weird things, like, like shit like car accidents and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, in general, like, you're not going to hurt anybody because you're not trying to hurt anybody. You have good intentions. So if that is the case, then do whatever the fuck you want. Like, that is too general of a thing, but I have yet to refine like what I mean by that. But in general, Like, I really don't see a problem with it. And I've just gotten it multiple times from people. It's like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say this, that, and the other thing because all you do is just do whatever you want. Well, have you ever fucking tried doing whatever the fuck you want? Like, I'm sorry that, like, you don't live your life like that, but I'm telling you it's tremendous. And when you stop caring about, like bullshit type stuff and you just do whatever you want because you're not hurting anybody doing the things that you naturally want to do and actually want to make you happy and fulfilled, then, it's kind of a great life. So, I'm very happy with where I'm going. I need to, and I want to, and I'm going to continue to embrace the feelings and the mantras and the ideals that I have, because I know that I'm on a positive path, and I'm going to try to bring anybody else that wants to come along for that ride on that ride and propel anybody that I can. But if not, then that's fine. Then do whatever the fuck you want, because that's kind of my motto, But yeah, I just, I don't know. It's just an idea that circles in my head all the time, and that sometimes people like somehow try to use against me in some sort of way. And it's like, not too much. I mean, I'm not like getting hate. I'm far too small right now to get any sort of like negativity, like widespread negativity. But I mean, just from in general, it's like, I don't get that. I really don't. So, I hope everybody out there is chasing the things that they want to do, and, doing, has 100% good intentions and is doing exactly what they want to do. I think that's the best life. I think that's really the way to live your best life. # live your best life. Yeah, I think that's really the best way to do it. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I have. I have to go to sleep because I got to get up relatively early. But I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much as always for tuning in, and looking forward to a more of a fun weekend, I would say. I'm gonna work both days, which is not ideal, but work, not good work. At the restaurant both days. Have to record podcast tomorrow. Probably a dinner, actually, Texas Day Brazil on Sunday, so that should be nice. And yeah, so I don't know how much we'll actually really get done this weekend, but Monday we're gonna hit it. And yeah, so regardless though, I will keep you guys updated as I always do, because I'm really enjoying these. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you in the